Hello and welcome to Kickstart 2024 here in Amsterdam. Joining me now is Eugene Bergen, President of Equinix EMEA. And Eugene, it's a pleasure speaking to you.
Great to see you too.
Oh, nice to see you. And it's very sunny Amsterdam.
It's amazing. It's almost like Monaco.
I remember 2 years ago it was snowing. We had a bit of snow in one of the mornings of Kickstart, and now you have sun. I mean, climate change, what?
Exactly.
You had a very interesting panel discussion this morning, quite controversial at some points, some curveballs thrown over there. I think one of the points that you made that we don't hear often was that you said enterprises don't know what a data center is, they don't know what a data center does, especially when it comes to how much they can help them with sustainability. Yeah. Do you want to give our viewers a perspective of what you said around enterprise understanding data centers?
No, it's really great that we can talk about it again. Let me be more precise. A lot of enterprises do get it. There is, however, a tremendous opportunity still, specifically at the C-level, to make them aware of the impact of data centers on their, even on their P&L. P&L, environmental, of course also the whole IT infrastructure. A lot of the companies still have IT infrastructure on premise. That is a large double-digit number still of the total IT infrastructure. And through the horrendous power price increases, where cost went double and higher,
which got worse after the invasion of Russia, of Ukraine by Russia.
Dramatically worse. Yeah, people started to realize that you can cut your power bill dramatically, and for that matter, your power consumption, by moving from your on-premise data centers to off-premise. The way the data center industry is specialized really to reduce the waste of energy, because it's simply a cost. And what I notice is when I talk to C-level people in enterprises, they're just not aware of the tremendous impact of that. When I talk to the EU, which is very regularly, we strongly support legislation from the EU, because we need a level playing field so that everybody is adhering to the same standards. Secondly, we built data centers for 30 years, and it is very naive to believe that a data center will still have the same requirements even 10 years from now.
So now with AI, it's going to change even faster.
Right, and therefore we want to do whatever it takes to get environmentally as good as it gets, for the simple reason otherwise you will have to invest hundreds of millions in the future. Now, all that is still to be told to a large percentage of C-levels in enterprises, and how much it can improve their own taxonomy from the EU, reduce their own consumption of power, and eventually also their costs.
I think what you said also about PUE was quite interesting, because one PUE you don't waste energy. 2 PUE you spend 50% more, and you said enterprises are 3-4 PUE. Even
when I was in Brussels, there was even a competitor walking out with me after I told that story to the EU people, who said my PUE is at 2. Our PUE, if I look at just Amsterdam, it's below 1.2. I can't be specific, but it's substantially below 1.2.
Which is very good in terms of industry averages anyway.
Absolutely, yeah. You know, it's as simple as if your PUE is 2, you waste 50% of your energy bill on power, and you waste 50% of the power you use on cooling, going through the roof, etc.
That's why when you said as enterprises with PUEs of 3 and 4, that was quite shocking.
But you know, it's really like if you put servers in a room and it's not built as a data center, then PUEs could go anywhere, right? Up, that is. It's an art to make them as low PUE as possible. We actually have a target for all IBXs globally every year to reduce PUE by a certain percentage. And the good news is we're outperforming on the target.
IBX being the Equinix data centers, the international business exchanges.
Correct.
As you call your data centers. And then apart from educating enterprises on the sustainability front, I guess the other education journey that the industry has is the person outside of this building, the communities, the citizens of every country, of every economy. Has the industry failed to do that? Yeah. Have we really not got it right over the last few years?
Next round of breakout sessions are about to start.
I'll repeat that in a second.
Yeah, okay. All right.
From okay,
Oh, it's here?
yeah, because they're changing the panels.
I see.
Yeah, yeah. The rest is fine. So should I go? All right, cool. I'll just re-ask you the question,
Yeah,
and then we go.
yeah, sure.
And then, so of course, apart from educating enterprises, the other big education that needs to happen in this market, it's the person outside of this building. It's the common citizen. It's the citizens of every economy. My question to you would be then, as the industry failed on this over the last few years, have we missed the boat on bringing people on board with this?
Well, you never miss the boat as long as you can still repair it. I think there is absolutely a need for education. The fact that people think the internet is somewhere but have no idea where is in the cloud.
And if it's not a
exactly,
rainy
in the
day, there's no
clouds,
internet.
is slightly naive. So there's a lot of education to be done. I would also say, and you see that more often, people take it as when energy is used in a big volume in one location.
Next round of breakout sessions are starting now. Please take your seats.
Oops.
It's going to be fun, isn't it? You can just pick up from there, because then I think we can
Yeah,
just
exactly.
join it together.
Yeah. Shit.
So the education.
Yeah, so there's a misconception that when there's a lot of energy consumed in one location, then it's bad. But if you realize that if we would move all the on-premise IT infrastructure that it sits in buildings to data centers, we could cut the overall power consumption in a big, big way.
And then, speaking of power, power is another big issue in Europe. There's a bit of shortage. Can you paint us a picture of the situation? Do we still have a power crisis in Europe? And because you have a view into the Middle East and Africa as well, can we compare the regions a little bit from a power perspective?
Yeah, I would say the power crisis as we had it, because of Russia also, is really behind us. But be careful, Russia isn't...
You never know, but...
You never know, exactly. We live in times that are way more unpredictable, right? I'm afraid.
We'll pick up on the
Breakout
predictable.
sessions are starting now. Please take your seats.
She's laughing.
Exactly. You gotta love that woman.
You can pick up on unpredictable.
Yeah. Times are way more unpredictable than in the past. So I think we're getting much more in a stable situation for as long as it lasts. Let's say, right? At the same time, we are moving to become way more independent of Russia. That's also what I said, right? It's a blessing in disguise because we become way more conscious in how to source fuel, how to consume it, how not to waste it. Overall, I would say there is actually a tremendous positive of that instability.
Okay. I mean, picking up on the wars conversations, the conflicts, there's a few more brewing up in Africa. Of course, we have the problems with Israel and Hamas. Has that got Equinix to rethink some of its strategies in the region? Has some stuff been put back in the drawer? Have those conflicts had any impacts, or are you preparing for anything that might happen in the next few months around those topics?
You know, it's interesting. We have been having people in the company that have pushed me and the company to go to Russia for a long time, and we've always said no, and here we are. Right. I think one of the strengths of Equinix really is our consistency of strategy. So we do operate in stable environments. We avoid environments where we are pretty sure it might still flare up. We didn't know about Russia, but there was a strong sense of this could still go backwards big time. So I would say we don't have any immediate areas of
Okay.
I mean, China is a difficult situation, but not just for Equinix, for everyone, right? And that's also why it's pretty, I wouldn't say contained, but we are not in a big growth market there because of the circumstances, right?
Yeah. Well, China is it's almost a different chapter to the whole conversation. I mean, we did an event in Asia just last December, and even within Asia, there's a big division now with China.
Yeah, I know.
And the capital gets to Chinese borders, but then it ricochets back down to Southeast Asia. And that's why those economies are flourishing a bit more on the back of that.
And you know what is interesting about Russia is surrounding countries where we are big, like Helsinki, Frankfurt, even Istanbul, Bulgaria, Sofia, We did a lot of business for people that had a similar view on Russia. So you don't have to be in Moscow in order to do that business. Now, of course, at the current situation, we can't do anything. But it's not necessarily to go into unstable countries to still pursue your strategy. And for that matter, it's in the interest of the enterprises as well, because they want to find themselves back in Moscow with 100 servers, right?
Because business has not stopped at the end of the day, and this is where Vienna in the old days used to be the bridge between West and East Europe, and everything will go through the Austrian capital. All the way to the Balkans, and it was a whole different economy. But now that's all expanding, that's all growing. Speaking of growing, I mean, Equinix just keeps growing. It's you guys just announced your financial results a couple of weeks ago, last week?
Last week.
You hit over 8 billion or just nearly 8 billion. I can't remember the precise figure now, but it was a lot of money, like the largest data center operator in the world, the largest REIT as well. For EMEA, what are the plans for expansion? And maybe we can go through Europe, Middle East, Africa, kind of paint us a rosy picture of what's happening.
You know, we have over 60 expansion projects on the way as we speak, meaning we're expanding basically everywhere where we are already. In terms of new markets, we've invested 160 million in South Africa. That is being built, and actually it's
that's a whole new site.
Whole new site, we're expanding in Nigeria. I must say Nigeria is a real success. That we're performing over expectations there in a good way. Very strong team that helps as well.
That was through the acquisition of Medallion.
Main one. Not Medallion, main one. And then, as you may know, we're in Dubai, we're in Oman, very successfully, and we're looking specifically in those two regions to expand further.
Would Saudi be in the plans at some point? Or?
We're definitely looking at Saudi. Is there anybody not looking at Saudi?
I was going to say, it's an open secret, like in this room, basically.
Exactly. Definitely. Yeah, that's a big one.
And then within Europe, any new locations? Because I mean, again, you're pretty much everywhere, from Portugal all the way to Finland. Almost every country has an Equinix data center. But are we going to see another country? Are we going to see newer cities coming into the map?
Maybe new cities, but new countries not for the moment. I'm a big believer in focus. You shouldn't do everything at the same time, because that's a recipe of disaster.
Build the foundations right.
Yeah, exactly. And we are expanding, of course, in xScale at the same time, which is the big sites, right? Enough going on, I would say.
Well, you have plenty to be busy with. 60 construction projects plus whatever it's being worked on in the backstage.
Amazing team pulling that off.
Speaking of keeping you busy, is there something that keeps you up at night? Is there anything that
the
worries you?
instability of the world, I would say, and that has even forget about our industry.
The wider picture.
There was a guy who said he studied the last 10 centuries, and he said the first 50 years we slaughter each other. The second 50 years we promise we'll never do it again. We're now in 1924. That's a scary picture, even if you realize that. So I hope we learned something, and we will be able to avert that. But
that's the hope for
that definitely
everyone.
Keeps me up at night.
The next 6-8 months, things kind of shift towards a better place than they are. And let's hope that once we turn the year, let's hope that the New Year's Eve is going to deliver a better present than this one did. And then I was going to ask you, because I was also conscious of time. Of course, we are Kickstart 2024. Why is an event like this important for you, but also for Equinix? And then if we look into Kickstart 2025, what do you think is going to be the main topic for next year?
Well, that's, I think, very, very much determined by a couple of factors. The geographic stability, because who knows what happens. Obviously AI. As you heard on stage, I'm a huge believer of AI. I think it is literally the best thing we've ever invented. For the simple reason we are able to innovate way faster, and we need that. Given the climate challenges and all the other challenges, we need to become smarter in order to survive, really, right, as a species. So I would say one of those two should be one of the big factors.
Okay, and then when you look at a conference like Kickstart, why is this an important
it's two ways. It's great to hear how other people perceive their reality, and of course it's great to be on stage and share our vision. Right?
So you get business done.
I love to do that.
Sharing knowledge and making business, shaking hands.
Exactly, yes.
Eugene Bergen, President for Equinix EMEA. Thank you so much for talking to me.
It's a great pleasure, man.
Great to see you again. As for your home, thank you for watching, and do check our website and social media for more timely news from the digital infrastructure sector worldwide. At the Tech Capital, you lead, we report. Bye for now.